Hi, Peter King with the MMQB here, and this is your Twitter mailbag. This week on all Brady, all the time, all Patriots, Twitter mailbag in the wake of one of the harshest penalties, harshest sanctions in NFL history. We'll start off with @JasonLeeJason. Brady obviously still goes into the Hall of Fame, but can a player who was suspended for cheating go in on the first ballot? Well, JasonLeeJason, there's no rules, there's no anything, there's no bylaws that says here's how voters must vote after a guy has been suspended. And again, we are, I would guess, at least 8 years away from considering Tom Brady for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm thinking that he plays at least 3 more years. He might play more than that. So one of the things I like about the process is that you have to let a guy's career percolate after he walks away for 5 years. Then, and only then, do you consider whether he should be in, whether he should not be in, whether it be first ballot, whether it isn't. We'll go to @ShuckyStyle. Let's say the 4-game suspension stands. Who's the favorite to win the AFC East? @ShuckyStyle, it's very simple, the New England Patriots. I don't believe that the Patriots, who, for instance, started 2-2 last year and still won the AFC East in a walk, I just don't believe that any team in this division has gained such an advantage, in the past year that, say, a 1-3 or even 2-2 start by the Patriots is going to make them, the third or fourth best team in this division. I still think the Patriots win it. Go to @BoSox 2004-2007. Does the penalty stick after the appeal court system, or is it reduced? And if reduced, what does the final penalty look like? Well, I believe that there will be some relief in the penalty to Tom Brady. I don't know that there's going to be any relief in the penalty to the Patriots, because that would mean that Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, would have to go to an outside court to try to get some relief. Now, I believe that Kraft is seriously considering his options, which include going outside the bounds of the NFL to consider suing the NFL in court, sort of going rogue, going Al Davis. But I do think that if Brady appeals this outside the bounds of the NFL, that he will get his suspension reduced. Now, from @John Sargent, who asked, who benefits the most from a Brady suspension? I think the team that benefits the most will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers will come into Gillette Stadium in what was going to be a tough place to win anyway. But Jimmy Garoppolo playing his first NFL game, his first NFL start under this kind of pressure would be an incredibly difficult task. And I think Garoppolo, all early reports on him are good, but all early reports on him are good in mop-up duty in games that didn't have the white-hot spotlight on him as this game does. So I think that the Steelers gain a huge advantage. Finally, I want to say one other thing. This is not a question, but I want to say one other thing that I think is really, really important to say at this point when we're thinking about this whole thing. I think what everybody likes to do when something like this happens so quickly and it's such a shock to everybody's system is everybody wants to form final judgments, what exactly they think about the sanction, what they think about Brady forever, what they think about the Patriots. And that's why I think it's important for people to sit back and just to think about this and to see where the chips fall. We don't know what the final resolution of this is going to be, legal or otherwise. And that's why I think that instead of forming your absolute final judgment, stupid penalty, awful penalty, great penalty, terrible penalty, whatever, wait and see what more information comes out in the future before you say something or think something that you're going to want to take back. And that's it for this week's Twitter mailbag. For the MMQB, I'm Peter King.